And in this program, we're seeing all this program related with the assembly language programming. Now for microcontroller, here we can see the program can be written in assembly language or in embedded C. Now, this is when we are writing the program in assembly language, we are having the instruction set. We are creating the algorithm and write the program. Okay, so there are two types. One way is writing the program in assembly language, and another one is writing the program in embedded C. Now, when we are writing the program in either assembly language or embedded C, here I have explained you the flow of program. So, compiler first will compile the program, and then it will create the hex file. That hex file will be burned or will be transferred in the microcontroller memory, or program memory which is available in the microcontroller. Now, the size of this hex file will decide whether the external memory is required or not. So, if suppose the hex file is larger, then the available code space in the microcontroller, that is considered first. If again more space is required, then the external memory is interfaced to the microcontroller. Okay. Now the concern is when we are writing the program in assembly language, then the hex file which is generated, that will be less, or it will occupy less space. And when we are writing the program in embedded C, then it will acquire high space or more space. We can write it as more space. Still, assembly language programming is requiring less space and embedded C is requiring high space. Then also, most of the programmer wish to write the program in embedded C, okay, or want to create the program or program flow in embedded C. Now, why it is so? So here the first concern is why to write the program in assembly languages. The first case is it is easier to write. So what does it mean? When we are writing the program in assembly language, then it is time consuming and very tedious process. That means you need to understand the function of each instruction. Okay, you need to write every instruction in a sequential flow as it is single step execution. So for assembly language programming, it will require more time and more concentration. But if you are writing the program in embedded C, it is very easy as compared to the assembly language programming, and as well as it will consume less time because it will not require, already some functions are available into the C programming, as well as everyone is well aware about the embedded C programming. Okay, so it is very easier and time consuming as compared to the assembly language programming. Okay, the second case is it is easy to modify. Easy to modify. Now, what does it mean? Let's suppose if you are writing the program in assembly language programming, and if there are any queries or any errors occurred into the program, then we need to check every instruction. Okay. After that, when the instruction is completed or when the program is completed, though we are debugging the program, still there are some mistakes or there may be some bugs which are available into the program, so that we are not getting the correct answer or correct flow. Okay, so to modify the assembly language programming, it is very tedious or very time consuming. Okay, but if you want to modify the program in embedded C, that can be easily modified. Okay, so this is the case why embedded C programming is preferred. Okay, now the third way for writing the program in embedded C is that C programming is having different function libraries that are easily available or readily available into that embedded C. Okay, so all the functions which are or codes which are available into that function library that can be easily accessible, okay, which are not available into the assembly language programming. Okay, then one more benefit is the C code is portable. C code is portable. Now, what does it mean? If suppose we want to write the program for 8051, we can use the same embedded C programming. We can write the program, and by making some minor corrections or modification in the program, the same program can be used for different microcontrollers. If suppose we want to use PIC microcontroller, or if we want to use ARM controller, then also we can use the same program without much modification into the program. But if you consider about the assembly language programming, then depending upon the microcontroller, which instructions it is available with that microcontroller, we need to consider it, and according to that, we need to write the program. Okay. But in embedded C, if suppose the program is ready, by making some minor changes or function libraries or attributes which are available into that particular microcontroller, by changing it, we can use the same program for different microcontrollers. So these are the benefits of embedded C programming as compared to the assembly language programming. That's why embedded C programming is preferable or preferred for writing the program for different microcontrollers. Okay. Now, while writing the program, also we need to consider some concerns, or we need to consider some cases in which the first case is, if suppose we are writing the program in embedded C, then the hex file which is generated using embedded C, it is larger one. Okay. Now, if we want to reduce the hex file, we need to consider some cases, or we need to consider the different, what we can say, the different data types or different functions which are available with that microcontroller. So that, just 1 second. Gaurav, what is the query? I'm still trying to join the meeting. Gaurav, just tell them that it is auto-joining. So they can easily join the. There may be some errors in the network, or there may be some errors in the Google Meet. So just ask them to reset and again rejoin. Okay, Gaurav? Okay. So while writing the program in embedded C, the hex file becomes the large one. Okay. So to reduce it, we need to consider the different consider about the different variables which are available into the embedded C, as well as we need to consider the different data types and functions which we are using into that particular programming. Okay. So first we need to understand the different data types which are available into the microcontroller and which we can use according to the requirement. Okay. So in which the first data type which is available in embedded C is, first data type is unsigned character. Unsigned character. Okay. Already you know about the character, integer, etc. in C programming. You are aware about it. Okay. Just we will take the we will brush up it. Okay. Now this unsigned character data type is most natural choice of many application. Okay. And it is 8-bit data type, and the range, or simply 8-bit data type. It is 8-bit data type and having the range of 0 to 255. This is the range of these unsigned characters. Okay. And it is most widely used into the embedded C programming. Now, the second character is signed character. Now, the signed character, it is also 8-bit data type. 8-bit data type. Okay. And the most significant bit, that means the D7th bit, okay, it is considered as, D7th bit is considered as a signed bit. That means if that bit is if that bit is 1, then if the bit is 1, that means it is negative data, and if the bit is 0, then that means it is positive data. Okay. Now, if we take the magnitude for this, or the range of this data type, Then it is from minus 128 to plus 127. This is the range for signed character. Now, why it is so? Just assume as it is 8-bit data type, we represent that 8-bit as 0000 0000. Okay, so that is the 8-bit data type. Now, the maximum range will be first bit is 0, then 111, and then 1111. Okay. Now, why we are taking this bit as 0? Because it is this 7 bit is considered as this 7 bit is considered for the sign, either positive or negative. So the maximum size of the data will be for 7 bits. Okay. That means the range will be from 000 0000 to 111 1111. Okay. So if it is the case here, are you getting it? Now here, if the range is from 00 to 7F, the range comes to the plus minus 128 to plus 127. Okay. But for unsigned characteristic, when we are taking 8-bit data, here the range will be from 00 to FF. Here the data will be from 00 to FF. That will be the maximum data size. Okay. So here it comes from 00. The range will be, or the maximum size is 0 to 255. Okay. But for signed character, the D7 bit we're considering as sign. So remaining 7 bits, this size will be from 00 to 7. Okay. Now the third data type is unsigned integer. Now this unsigned integer is 16-bit data type. Okay, and the range will be from hello all, am I audible? Okay, so for integer, the data, it is 16-bit data type, so maximum range is 0 to 65535. Okay, and how it is generated? Here the range will be from 0000. Okay, so that will be the maximum range. So according to that, the maximum range will be from 0 to 65535. Okay. You can calculate it how the range is defined. Okay. So it is the 16-bit data type. Then the next one is signed integer. Now the signed integer is also 16-bit data type. Okay. With D15th bit. D15th bit, it is considered or treated as sign. If that bit is 0, it is positive. If it is 1, then it is negative. Okay. So, and the range will be from 00000 to 0FFF, 0FFF. That will be the range. Okay, so here the maximum range we can define as 0 to sorry, not 0, it is for 32768 or minus 32768 to plus 32767. So that will be the maximum range of for signed integer. Now already you know about this signed, unsigned character, signed character, then unsigned integer and signed integer for C programming. Okay. For microcontroller, more data types which are available are, first one is S bit. It is also called as single bit. Okay. This S bit is normally widely used into the 8051 programming. Okay. Now, why this S bit is used? Because some SFRs which are available into the data memory of microcontroller, these are bit addressable. Okay. So, a specific bit can be addressed by using this S bit. So, it is a single bit that can be defined or that can be accessed by using S bit. Just a minute. Keval, what is the query? Okay. Keval, just ask to again, try to rejoin again. Okay, so this is about S bit. So only a single bit can be used to define or to specify some SFRs which are bit addressable into the microcontroller. Okay. Then again we have one more data which are SFR. Okay. So this SFR is used, or bit and SFR both are available. So these are bit addressable memory spaces which are available into the data memory that can be accessed by using bits and SFRs. Okay, so SFRs are used. SFR is used to access the special function registers which are available into the microcontroller, and which is available into the microcontroller. Okay, so if we take the overall review of all these data types, then unsigned characters, it is 8-bit data type, okay, having the range 0 to 255. Signed character bit size and having the range of -122 plus 127. Then unsigned integer, it is 16-bit data type with the range of 0 to 65535. Then signed integer, it is 16-bit data type with the range of -327682 plus 32767. Okay. Then for microcontroller, more data types which are available are S bit, bit, and SFR. So where S bit is single bit, okay, and that is the bit addressable memory location can be accessed by using S bit. Then bit, it is also single bit size, and that can be used to access the RAM, which is bit addressable. Okay, already we have seen the memory mapping structure of RAM. Okay, so here there are some banks. After that, bit addressable memory location is available, and after that, the scratch pad is available. So in that, if suppose you want to access single bit from the bit addressable memory, then bit data type is used, and then SFR is used to access the 8-bit memory location. Either it may be from the scratch pad or it may be from the SFR location. Okay, so these are the different data types which are used into the microcontroller. Now we will see one simple program how to use the different data types into the embedded C. Let's assume we want to write the program or embedded C program to okay. Now if we were to write if we want to write this program, first, just like in embedded C, what we are doing, we are first including the header files, right? So here also we need to include the header file. Now for embedded C programming for microcontroller, the header file which we need to include is reg51.h. Okay. So this file is having all the functions and attributes which are required for 8051. Okay. So here we need to include this header file. Okay. After that, simply we will write main function. I'm not going in deep for C programming because already you have studied the C programming or basics of C programming into the first and second year. Okay, so we will just see how to write the program. Okay, so here for transferring the values from 00 to FF to the port, here first we have included reg51.h file. Then what we will do, we will write the main function. So in the curly bracing, we will define one data type or variable with unsigned char. Okay. Next we will write I. Okay. So unsigned char I. Then we will write a function for loop for I is equal to 0, I is less than equal to 255, I plus plus. Okay. Then for port 1, value will be given as I and curly bracing complete. Okay, so this is a simple program for writing the program, for writing embedded C programming. Okay. Okay, now see here, in this program what we have done, we have taken one character I, unsigned character I, and we have given the value for this I from 0 to 255. Okay, so first the value will be 0 to transfer to the port 1, then the second value will be 1, 2, 3, 4, so on up to 255, and when it is over, the program is finished. So here we are writing P1 as it is because in this reg51.h file already port 1 is defined as P1. Okay. So here we can write P1 equal to I and the value is provided. Now if suppose in this program, if we want to provide some sort of delay in this while transferring the data, that means when the 0 is provided, after that there will be some delay, then the next data will be 1 after the delay, then third data after the delay, and so on. So in that case here we need to make a slight modification, that we need to define the delay function. So delay. So we need to define this void delay here, and we need to call the delay function here. And after that, we will write the delay program. So here also, we will define one integer and send integer z. Then we will use some value. Let's see, for z equal to 0, z less than equal to 50,000, z plus plus. Okay, and then it will return back to the main program. Okay, everyone got it? So here, what we have done, we have provided the value delay into the main function. So when port 1 will have some value, let's say 0. After that, the delay will get called. Where the delay is over, again, the same function is, the next value will be provided. Now, if you want to keep the program in this loop, here, what we need to do, we need to write one more function, that is while 1, to keep it in the infinite loop. So here what will happen? Once the value is provided from 0 to 255, again it will return to 0, and again the value will be provided up to 255, and so on. So it will be the infinite loop if you are putting it into the while. Okay. Now just tell me, everyone, all of you are already aware about embedded C programming, all the functions of C. Hello all, I am asking to all of you. Okay, so you can use the different functions which are available into that C programming. Okay, and data types also which are available in the C programming. Okay, so same here we need to use only the different C's. We need to include a particular microcontroller header file, and for special functions, even we can define that special function and we can add it into the program. Okay. Now in the same program, if we want to, in spite of writing P1, if suppose I am writing here as LED, okay, then here we need to define port 1 as define P1 equal to LED. So here what will happen? Here we will directly define a specific port or a specific variable, and that variable is used into the main program. Okay. So in the same program, we have seen the different what we can say logic. Okay, first we have seen to transfer the data to the port 1, that we have seen one program. Then how to add the delay, that we have seen. Again, how to define the different variables, that we have seen. Okay, all these functions and definitions are already available into the C program. The same way you need to write this program. Okay, everyone got it? How to write the program? Okay. Now, while writing the program in embedded C, we have to take the care about the selection of controller and the source code. So when you are selecting the project, you have done the program for assembly language programming. So you have created the new project, then you have selected the chip, and after that, the key asking you about adding of source code. Okay, add source code. And while writing the program in assembly language, we have said no, or we have clicked on no. But for embedded C programming, you have to add the source code into the main program. Okay. One more thing, while saving the program, here we need to use the extension .c. So previously for assembly language program, extension .asm. So here we need to use the extension .c for writing the program in embedded C. Okay, everyone got it? Okay. Now we will take one more program. If suppose I want to toggle a particular port, okay, for infinite time, okay, then here we need to give or provide the data to the port, okay, and we need to change that value again. So toggling means first, if suppose if I am selecting port 1, so first data will be 0, okay, then the next data will be 1, after that 0, after that 1, after that 0, after that 1, and so on. So it is called as toggling. Okay, so here in this program, we will toggle the port or all the, no, we will toggle all port pins. Okay, so here for this purpose, we will write the program. So here the first instruction will be #include reg51.h, that is the microcontroller header file. Then void main, then here we will give the while loop, because we are writing the program for infinite loop, na? So in the while loop directly we will put the data port 1 equal to, now let's assume if we want to make the port pins as 0011, here we can provide the data as port 1 pins are 8 pins, so all the data will be 00000000. After that, or after certain time, here the data will be 11111111. Okay. So here what we need to do, we need to provide all the zeros for one first time, after that all ones, again all zeros, again all ones, and so on. Okay. Or here we can give another data as 01010101. Okay, so and here also 10101010. So alternate pins will be 0 and 1. Okay, so either you can put this data or this data. Okay, it will only toggle the pin. Okay, so here the first data will be 0 and maximum data will be FF. Okay, and here this data will be 55 and this data will be AA. So any one data we can take here. Okay. So here we will give directly the hex value as 0x00. Then again port 1 equal to 0x0FF. Why 0? Because whenever we are giving the value or hex number which is having the character, that data or that value first will be written, given before the data we need to write 0 and then we need to put the data. After that, see here in this program, here first the data will be 00 and then the data will be FF. That means here the status will be 0000 then 1111. But this is not visible for our eyes. Why? Because there is no any delay and every instruction works in microseconds. So first the data will be 00 and after that FF. So here for every data we need to provide the delay. Okay. So we can write the delay function here, or we need to put delay here, and after that again delay here. And we need to define the delay here. Void delay. And after this program, we can write the delay function. We can vary the delay. Now, if we compare this program with the branching instructions in the assembly language programming, see here in this program, here we are calling delay for 2 times. So, in spite of writing the delay function here, the delay function is written separately and that is called into the main program. So, delay it is called as subroutine into the assembly language programming. And instructions of these lines are repeated for 2 times into the main program. So to access that particular function for assembly language programming, we are writing call here. Okay, and in this embedded C programming, directly we are defining that function here, like defining void delay function, and we are calling the function into the main program. Everyone got it? सगळ्यांना समजलं का? Okay. Now, in the same program, if you want to make the changes for toggling, here we will only make the change as 5 and AA. 0 AA. This is also a toggling function. Okay, but here what will happen? Here the program or the port status will be assumed or will be treated as running LEDs. Okay, so it is also a toggling. It appears like running LEDs, and previously when we are writing 00 and AA, then it is just we are toggling the status 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. Okay, everyone got it? So I think today it's enough for us.